Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of We Dream of Cake. I'm your host, Aaron Glapion, and today I'm going to show you how I made this Shrunken Head Cake for a Halloween party. So let's start out by applying simple syrup to chocolate cake. Now that the simple syrup has set in, let's stack the cakes and prepare them for carving. Just a little bit of buttercream here on the board just to keep things in place. Just taking off a little bit of buttercream around the sides here because I'm gonna cut it a little bit just to get that body shape. So I'm cutting the cake about 1/3 of the way in just to give me a flat backing, as well as using this part for the arms. So I'm going to pop this into the freezer just for a little bit and let the crumb coat set up, and then I'll work on a few other items. I have some rice cereal treat, only about 3 because the head needs to be rather small. It is a shrunken head, and as I said before in an earlier video, when you're using the cereal treat, the base of it, the Rice Krispie part, or the cereal treat part, is more like the bone, and the fondant is like the flesh. So here I have some flesh tone colored fondant I'm going to use to cover the base of the head. Cutting off just a little bit of the excess with my paring knife, and also leaving just a little bit on the bottom to act as the neck. Little indentation where the eyes would be. Just to give me some sort of idea what I'm working with. So I have a bit of black fondant here to make the hair in the ponytail. I also have a piece of licorice candy. I'm going to cover that with the black because it's kind of bendy to make the ponytail. I'm using just a little bit of clear alcohol because it dries really quickly, just to make the fondant sticky enough to attach the two together. Poking a little hole in top of the head here so that I can insert the licorice. Just gonna take the ball tool and guide it to stretch it in, thin it out, and kind of make it look like a hairline. Now let's give the hair a little bit of texture. Make it look a little bit more like hair. I'm just using this shell end of this tool to get some lines in there. Let's just use this tool and to define where his nose would be and his mouth. Also, using the sculpting tool, I'm adding some wrinkles in there because, well, if his head is shrunken, his skin may not necessarily shrink at the same rate. Let's work on some eyeballs. I think his eyes would be really bulgy, kind of buckeye. So let's see what size we actually need. I'm just freehanding all of this. So I think I will use another cereal tree here for a neck. I think he needs one. I don't want it to be too big, but something just isn't right. Let's use a popsicle stick to put in here before I go too far with everything, just to hold him up on the cake once we're done with it. So the parts here on the side, it's really going to be covered with this collar and ascot, so I don't have to go too far all the way around the neck with the collar. So I'm going to put some of this black dust in the eye sockets. Most of it will be covered up with the fondant, but the parts that isn't, like right by the brow, it'll show. I'm also gonna dust a little bit all over because, well, his head is shrunken and he's dead. So let's try to, I don't know, see what works. At least I don't think you can live with a shrunken head, but I don't want to find out. Kind of making his eye sockets a little bit extra defined, the outer part, just to, I don't know, accent the fact that his eyes are bulging so much. I think I'm gonna actually color in the inside of his mouth here. And the dust just isn't really working enough. I'm gonna color in the inside of the eye sockets as well, at least around the sides, the edges. Put a little bit of red on the lips. Trying to put it on as light and thin as possible, but it is real red. I'm not sure if this is actually going to work, but I'm going to try and dip the tip of this in some red and see if I can put some veins in his eyeballs. Maybe. I think that should show a little bit of trauma, and if your head is shrunken, little bit traumatized. Let's make some tiny pupils. They're not exactly flat either because I want everything to kind of bulge. I'm just applying a final coat of buttercream here onto the cake to sort of smooth it out, as well as allow it to be tacky enough to have the fondant stick to it. Again, it's just to make sure that the fondant sticks once we're ready to apply it. And who doesn't really like extra frosting? I guess I shouldn't say that. I'm sure there's some people that prefer just the cake, but I love the frosting, especially chocolate. So I'm just going to use one of my large piping tips, the back end of it, to cut out a couple buttons. Make a few buttonholes here. Then with another tip, just a little bit smaller, put just a little impression into the button. Now to add a little bit of color to the shirt to make it look a little worn and old, let's go ahead and just start with some colors. Let's use this sort of a flat gold. I want to get the shirt to look worn and old. Like he's been sitting around for a little while. Or maybe laying around for a little while. Let's try out a bit of cocoa powder, see if that works a little bit. Old and dirty, you know? Maybe just a hint of black on the face. Let's see. Let's see if we can put a little bit of shine on his ascot. Just let it stand out a little bit. Maybe his lips. Guess he uses moisturizer. A little bit on the eyes. Let's get the hair. So, there you have it, a shrunken head cake for a Halloween party. But I just can't help but wonder, what did this guy do where the punishment is to have your head shrunken? What do you think? Leave me a comment and tell me your story. I'm Aaron Glapion for We Dream of Cake.